The stories in the Skinjacker trilogy take place in Everlost. Everlost is the place between life and death, where all lost children end up after getting lost in their journey to the afterlife. These lost children, or afterlights as they are called, are unseen by the living real world. The afterlights cannot interact with the real world and will sink to the earth's core if they stay still, except those with the ability to possess or skinjack the living. Afterlights can interact with certain objects that were loved so much by their owners that when the objects break, it crosses over to Everlost unbroken and is given a place there for eternity. The conflict of the story is trying to stop Mary Hightower and her plan to kill the living. Mary won't stop until she gets what she wants and believes that she is making a utopia. Allie, Nick, Jill, Mikey, Jix, and Clarence all plan to stop Mary's team of skinjackers and afterlights in order to restore balance between the world of the living and the dead. Mary Hightower is a self-proclaimed expert on Everlost. She has written many books on living in the world between life and death. She also thinks of herself as the mother of the many children stuck in Everlost, being one of the eldest inhabitants at 15. She would do anything to keep the lost afterlights in Everlost. Mary's love for Nick is quite confusing to her, for that he is the enemy. Allie is a 14-year-old girl who dies after her car crashes into a black Mercedes on the highway. Allie is a brave and goal-oriented girl, but she is not much of a planner. Allie has the gifted ability to possess or skinjack people. She has disliked Mary Hightower since the first time they met. Allie plans to stop Mary with the help of Nick, Jix, Jill, Clarence, and Mikey. She knows one secret that every skinjacker comes to realize, but no skinjacker has ever spoken. Nick is a 14-year-old boy who is more of a follower than a leader. He was riding in a packed black Mercedes and wasn't wearing a seatbelt. He was on his way to a wedding when he died with chocolate on his face. Now he is stuck in formal clothes and a chocolate-covered mouth for eternity. Nick turns into what most afterlights know as the chocolate ogre. Milos Vayevsky is another one of Mary's henchmen and is a skinjacker. He believes that Mary and him share the same burning passion for each other and considers himself her true love. When Mary's feelings for Nick are revealed to Milos, he is in disbelief and denies that she loves the chocolate ogre. He carries out Mary's orders while she slumbers and takes care of her children as somewhat of a father figure. Everything has a purpose. Within this book, all of the characters and even beloved objects in Everlost play a role in protecting or destroying our world. Whether they are old or young, they all use the abilities that they are born with and make them necessary and useful. Even if they can't skinjack, misshape their bodies, or pull things out of the living, they realize in this book that powers won't be any use unless they are used for the greater good. Exposition. The story begins with describing and telling the whereabouts of all the characters. Nick was melted and was sort of recovered by Mikey. Allie is tied in the front of a train. Milos is in charge of the train and takes care of the afterlights while Mary slumbers in the back of one of the train's cargo. All the characters are headed west towards something that Mary chooses not to share with anyone, not even Milos. Rising action. Milos and the train run into a church which covers the tracks. Allie is the only one who knows to get around them and has Milos on a wild search until he realizes what she saw. Meanwhile, Mikey and Nick encounter an old man named Clarence, who can see and touch Everlost with his left eye and fingers. In Everlost, he is known as a scar wraith. He traps them in a handmade cage, but Nick slips through being fully made of chocolate and carries on Mikey's mission to stop his sister. Climax. Allie escapes being tied onto the train after it had been hijacked by a group of neons. Clarence, after being in the hospital, decides to help stop Mary after being convinced by Mikey. Milos and the other skinjackers plan to kill a group of young children in the playground at an elementary school. His plans are ruined, though, and ends up with nothing except with the loss of one of his companions because of his cowardness. After an afterlight vanishes, Mary awakens in the Temple of Neons. Falling action. Allie and Clarence make their way across different states to kill of Mary's skinjackers' bodies. Jill, who is on their side, emails Allie all of the skinjackers' real names, but accidentally types something incredibly important. After Allie takes care of the skinjacker, she and Clarence follow Mary to New Mexico to find out Mary's complete plan to destroy the living world. Resolution. All characters meet up to resolve a living's destiny and what will become of themselves. The Hindenburg, which Johnny, O, and Charlie traveled in, comes and drops Everlost coins into the sky for all the afterlights to use and get where they are going. Mary, after seeing her afterlights leave her, ends her life and doesn't give Nick the chance to say his feelings for her. Allie and Nick in the end get to do what they desired since they came into Everlost, whether it meant leaving loved ones or staying in Everlost. The Skinjacker trilogy introduces many different personalities and actions that have not yet been seen in movies or even on high-tech games. The Skinjacker trilogy may seem long to most people, but once they let themselves fall into a world of wonder and imagination, they think about the world from a different perspective. Today, the world could use some more creativity and needs all it can get.